Hi everyone! Hi! It's been a while and I want to make another video. A little bit of a life update. I graduated like a couple of weeks ago and I am depressed. Classic! Okay, regarding that, the topic that I wanted to talk today is about the general idea of growing up and just life in general after school. And I know there's gonna be like a lot of cliches in it, and honestly I don't know why exactly I'm making this video because I don't really have any answers to all of my anxieties and doubts and fears and all that stuff, but I really just wanted to talk about it, so here goes. I don't think growing up is a lesson that you will personally be able to fully learn until you graduate from school. These days I wake up and I don't really know what to do. This is, I think, one of the scarier parts about this entire thing is because I've spent literally all of my life since I was a child doing one thing. And I think it's my fault because I never really branched out to do a lot of like intern work or working with my mom and my dad because their work is so technical. I can't really help with that. Maybe it's my fault because I never really gave myself any experience resembling anything like the real world. But I think it's fair to say that for most of us, like the general experience for a lot of us is to just go to school. And I started going to school when I was 3, and that's the only thing that I did until now I'm 23. Holy shit! 20 years. Exactly 20 years. This is the only thing that I've done. You put on your uniform, put on your bag, tie your shoelaces together, sit in your class, wait for the break time to come, worry over the tests, do your assignments, listen to the teachers, crush on some boys, hang out with your friends, and then you wait for junior high, and then when junior high comes, you wait for high school, and after high school comes university, and afterwards it's just dead. There's always been like a clear directory of where I'm going for the past 20 years that I never really had to worry about that. After kindergarten, elementary school, junior high, high school, and college, there's always been like a stepping stone already set in place for you to just step on when the time is right. And all you have to do in the meantime is to do what needs to be done, what is expected of you, and what is expected of you has already been set by adults that are responsible for you, your teachers. So now what I'm finding out is there's no to-do list anymore. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing that I have to do. There's no test to prepare. There's no assignments to prepare and to do. There's no expectations. There's no grades to run after. There's nothing. There's nothing. There has never been nothing for the past 20 years, and I'm still trying to grasp that concept, and I'm failing because this period right now is a pretty transitional period in my opinion. You're transitioning from being a full-time student to a fully functioning adult who's supposed to go to work. You're transitioning from someone who has everything, every set of expectations set out and laid out on the table for you, to just you being by yourself, out in the open, making your own decisions and just shaping your life by yourself. I'm still struggling to grasp that. I don't even know where to begin. It's like suddenly I have so many things that I have to think about. It's like first and foremost you think about like, okay, what job should I look for? But then it's not just about job, it's about like, okay, so what am I good at? What can I do? And like, what job can I get and how good is the money? And it's not just the money, you have to think about the work environment and the boss and the pay also, and the prospects moving forward and how that correlates with your like 5-year plan or 10-year plan, or like, you know, future long-term career-wise plan? Like, is it going to correlate with, how is that going to correlate with all of that? And speaking of that, like, what career do you want to pursue? You know what I mean? And it's not just that, it's like, where do you put, after you do work, where do you put your money, right? Where do you save it? How much do you save? And how are you going to budget stuff? And like, and people start talking about like investments and like stocks, and there's like NFTs for a little while back. And it's not just that, it's about like marriage and relationships, and when do I want to get married, and how am I going to afford a wedding, or afford a house, or just afford anything? How am I gonna, and speaking about marriage, is like, I feel like even now my mom and my dad are still responsible for me, but I feel like the moment I decided to put a ring on my finger and commit to a man, we're our own family and we have to support ourselves and keep ourselves afloat. It's just like, those are just foreign concepts to me. And then like taxes, don't even get me started on that. And just like learning basic skills on just being a fully functioning human being, like learning how to change a light bulb, or like chasing a fucking rat who somehow got into your kitchen, or like killing bugs that scares the living shit out of you, or like doing dishes, cooking, driving. It's just so weird. It's so weird. I can't. It's so weird. It's just, not that I'm like, I don't understand the concept of all of those things that I just mentioned. Like, I've always known that at some point I'm gonna have to do them. It's just that now I have to actually do them. It just, there's so many things for me to comprehend, and I'm not comprehending anything. I don't. Look, like, I don't even know what to do right now. Yeah, get a job. I haven't gotten a job, FYI. Here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. But other than that, like, I don't know. I guess some of you would say, like, just give it time. You'll find your own pace. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Well, I've seen a lot of my friends who's already been working for like a year or so. They can talk shop, alright? They somewhat know how the world works, and I don't know jack shit about anything, I feel like. So, yeah. I feel like they do get a head start. It's also lonely. Adulting is lonely because in school, you are constantly surrounded by dozens and dozens and dozens of people doing the exact same thing, and you meet them every day. So, you're basically doing like the same kind of stuff. So there's like uniformity in that. But then once it's all over, everybody's just kind of on their own shit. Like they're doing their own stuff. So, you know, you got no parameters, no benchmarks to like compare yourselves to, like, am I doing something wrong or am I doing something right? There's no answer to all of that, but it certainly does look very, very easily like you're doing such a better job than you are. Like, when I saw my friends who's already been very successful at their jobs and are earning very well for themselves, or somebody who started something bravely, took a step back when they're in high school, and now they're reaping their success very, very heavily. Or another one who, another ones, because it's not just one, there's like a bunch of them who just got married straight away after college and are living the best life with their partner. Or like somebody else who gets to travel all around the world. It gets a little bit lonely, especially when you still don't really know what you're doing. And everybody else, I know they don't fully know what they're doing themselves anyway, probably, but that at least they're doing something. And by the looks of it, they're doing it right. So, yeah, it does still feel like they've got on the train and the train has like left the station. I'm just kind of stayed bolted in place. Yeah, it's not fun. This is also why opening social media these days isn't even that fun anymore. Where people go to brag, but a little tangent. You can't really blame social media for that because I think inherently social media is a breeding ground for negative mental health. It's not even like design. It's like social media as a concept. It's about like sharing. It's about community. You know, when you meet your relatives during like an event and you get to talk to them and they start talking about how their life have gone because you're catching up with them and they're talking about like how they got married or how they have children now or how they've reached a Nobel Prize or some shit. It's the same thing. Social media is about sharing, so inherently it is going to make you feel bad about yourself when you're emotionally vulnerable. So I think the only thing we can do about social media is at a personal level, you have to really set clear boundaries with yourself. If you think you can't handle it, then just don't click on it. Yeah, so that's a little tangent. Yeah, social media, especially for people like me right now, it's awful. It's awful because you don't know what you're doing with your life, and a lot of people seeing them on social media just makes you feel awful. It makes you feel lonely. So yeah. Coming back to my point earlier, I'm gonna talk about job prospects and just looking for jobs in general. I don't even know how to talk about this. I just feel awful every time I think about it. My mom and my dad is gonna say that I'm like a snowflake for thinking like that because everybody gets a job. You suck it up and you get a job, and I know. I just wished I could get just like a couple months where I could just kind of like take a breath and not freak out and calm myself down, and then I'll just throw myself into interviews and just HRs and just like shit like that, but just give me like a couple of months. And my parents would argue that I'd already gotten those couple of months, and maybe I did, and I'll admit some weeks I wasn't in my best self, so I wasn't doing anything productive like I would have promised myself I would be had I been given those couple of months. So yeah, I wasn't as productive, so I was kind of lazing around. But in those couple of months, they're already subtly asking me like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You have to get money. It's so good to get money. You'll feel so much better. Come on, you have to find it. You can't be lazy. You have to go here, apply there. This is a big company. Just apply there. You've got 15 million per month in there. Apply there. Almost every single time, like 90% rate of me hanging out with my parents, it's hands down, it's gonna come down to that 90% of the time, and it's so annoying. The more they like pressure me to go about it, like the more I don't want to do it. And I know I'm still gonna find, but like it's super annoying. It wasn't like a peaceful couple of months, so because they were asking shit like that, subconsciously I would start thinking, like overthinking about like, okay, fuck, what job should I pick? What job? Like, come on, job like that. So I'm kind of sad about that because I don't know, I feel like I can't process stuff. But now it's like almost April. It's gonna be really hard to just lay back. So yeah, there's external pressure for that area of my life. Another dilemma that arises from that is because I just don't feel like I have a clear vocation. At least not yet. I know I'm interested in a lot of things, but they're kind of like sporadic. And they're all over the place, and I don't know what to do with any of them. Every time somebody asks me, what do you want to do? What's your plan? What's your next plan? What's your next big move? These days, I always go through the same template of answer. I'm keeping my options open. I am not looking specifically for jobs that are within my major's field. I'm looking for just anything, and hopefully it will be my stepping stone for the next stuff, for the next big thing. And all the while I could build up my portfolio and learn. Hopefully I can build up my portfolio in the meantime when I'm working, and then yeah, hopefully that could also be like my next big stepping stone. That's always been my template answer, but the more I say it, the more like I'm losing confidence within myself. I don't know what to do. I feel like you should know, what kind of life do I want? Do I want like an expensive lavish life, or at least a somewhat comfortable life. Doesn't have to be lavish, but still, if you want to be comfortable, then you have to like provide the money for it. And how are you going to provide that money? How are you going to build your finances? Like, how are you going to do all of that? I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. This is another thing that I'm scared of. Every time I even skim through like a job application, whether it's like online, passing through like my IG fit, or like from somewhere else, wherever that is, whether I'm qualified or not, just reading through like the job descriptions and like the qualifications that I must have, it already exhausts me. Like, it scares me, because as soon as I read them, as soon as I do it, I would immediately put myself down by saying like, you can't do that. No, there's definitely no way you can't do that. No, that's impossible. You can't do that. No, you can't. Well, you can't do that, but you're not good at it. You're not good at it. This sounds so fucking cliche, like out of like a movie where the protagonist has like self-worth issues, but it's fucking real and it's fucking annoying. And it affects me because I don't want to apply anymore after I hear those words coming out of my own brain. And I've heard so many horror stories from my friends where they get sick or just want to rip their hair out because the work environment is so fucking toxic. So many of them. And I'm not exempt from them. I'm not special chosen one that's gonna have like a very comfortable life. And I want to make sure that it doesn't happen to me, but there's no way I could guarantee that. So it's pointless to worry. But still, this is why I wanted to take a couple of months off. I don't want to like jump into something only to fucking regret it, because it's gonna be my reality for like the next at least half a year to a year, maybe more. And I don't want to jump to that from this peaceful state. It's scary to pick. What if I picked a place where they have like a sociopathic boss, or I picked a place where it's not good for me in the long run, it's not gonna help me grow? What if I picked a place where I'm literally out of my league and I'm pressured every single week to just do the bare minimum? This is why I wanted a couple of months off, because at least I wanted to be ready and I wanted to have this chosen holiday. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get it for a while, probably, when I start working. And holiday is always something that you're earned. You never choose it for yourself because of school. But now that I'm out of school, I can just pick it, and I just want to pick these first couple of months fresh after I'm let go. Didn't really get that, and so yeah, I'm scared of picking. And it's not even just that. Don't even get me started on CVs, okay? Don't even fucking get me started on CVs. I thought it's gonna be like, not a walk in the park, but I thought making a CV, it's gonna take a while, but that's it, It's not gonna drain me emotionally, but it fucking did. And it didn't even take like more than 10 minutes, which is awesome. I have to answer like a couple of stuff like, okay, what are my strengths, and what are you good at, and what kind of field? And I can't even fucking answer them. I genuinely can't. I know I love graphic designs. I know I like taking photos. But as soon as it's questioned, I'm like, no, I can't do that. No, I don't think I can. And what frustrates me the most is I know if I keep having that kind of fucking mindset, I'm not gonna be anybody. I'm just not gonna be fucking anybody. But I keep asking myself, like, what if I oversell myself? What if I oversell myself? What if I just send the CV and the boss has like certain expectations for me and I can't fucking deliver? Apparently, I'm not done with my self-worth issue, because it's coming up in the CV issue, pretty much so, because I can't give credit to myself in any way, shape, or form. And I don't really know what to do about that. My mom and my dad asked me recently to make a company profile for their company, and it's my mom and my dad, alright? They don't expect that much, because I don't think they know a lot of like design and stuff to like really care. And even then, I'm already beating myself up, like, well, can I really do this? I'm still doing it, but I'm just letting you know that the doubt is really, really real. Really, really real. This whole struggle of accepting the change that's just happened, and this whole lack of direction, I think these are what's making me depressed. I didn't really want to get back to people. I kind of stayed in my room. I don't really want to shower. I showered before this video, by the way. I'm not stinky poo-poo. But yeah, hygiene, starting to neglect it. I know I'm not gonna slip, but you know, I still feel like talking. I just kind of feel very, very unmotivated. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I don't really want to do any of them. Because like, everything that I'm doing always takes a very long fucking time, and my mom always points that out to me, which makes me don't want to do things even more. Because she always says to me, like, you do things so fucking long. Everything takes so long with you. Which makes me don't even want to do stuff even more. No. So thanks, Mom. I just don't really know what to do. And I don't feel like an adult. I feel like I'm just like a teenager, just like stuck. And I don't know what to do. And I don't know, maybe a part of me wanted to publish this to get you guys' opinion or like stories if you've ever felt the same thing or are going through the same thing. It'd be really nice to have a discussion about it. It's just so scary, it's so big, and like the adult world is so big, so I don't know, it just feels sort of scary. So when you're a kid, you're like this. You don't have to look at any other way, you just have to think about school, friends, TV shows, and boys. That's all you think about. And then once you graduate, you're like, they just gonna like, no, we're gonna say bye-bye now. They're gonna just let you decide whatever you want to do. So be it. Bye-bye. So yeah, kinda sucks right now. And I don't want to say that discounting every blessing that I have, because this whole graduating experience, it's made me realize a lot of stuff that I get to have and not a lot can have. And I'm very, very lucky indeed for a lot of the opportunities and a lot of the blessings that I get to have and experience. And I will never take them for granted. It's just things are a little bit overwhelming right now. And I don't really know what to do. It's kind of good to get that off my chest. I really wanted to know what you guys think, even though I don't think anybody's out there. Woohoo! It's nice that I keep a little record of just like my train of thoughts, just about a bunch of stuff. And if any of you find this helpful or comforting in any way, I am very glad to hear that. So yeah. Alright, to anyone who's struggling to find themselves and finding their place in this world, we can do this. I know I didn't say this with a lot of convictions, but for your sake and for my sake, let's believe that we can. Adios. Ciao, amigos. Bye. See you later. Bye.